guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited about today's tutorial. This is my first time making a pop-up card, so when it turned out, you know, how I pictured in my head, it was just really exciting. So I'm excited to share this with you. To get started, you do need to go to my website at svgnation.com to get this tutorial or to get this template to download. I have left a link in the description that'll take you directly there. First of all, you're going to upload the file once you've downloaded it. We're going to click here. And when you guys get files from my website, they're going to come in a zipped folder. Once you unzip or extract those, there's going to be multiple file types. Sometimes I've got 2 different types. Sometimes there's like 4 different types. It's just so that you can use it for different purposes, different machines. But the SVG file is what you're going to need for Cricut Design Space. And this is the file that looks like your Internet Explorer. So it might say Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome or Firefox. It really just depends on what your default browser is set to. So it's kind of tricky, and a lot of times people don't realize this is the SVG file, but this is the file you need. So go ahead and click on it, and we're going to open this file. We're going to give it a name. And besides changing our score lines, this card is ready to go. But if you want to use this for like another year, you know, you have a kid graduating 2023 or further, I am going to show you how you can edit this so you can use it for any year. So before we get started, we do need to ungroup everything. We have everything grouped together and it's already selected, so just hit ungroup. And we also need to ungroup each of these individual like card pieces because they are grouped together. If we don't do this, when we attach our score line, it's going to attach everything and change it all to one color. So just click on that and ungroup, and we're going to click on this and ungroup. Alright, so this very top group, you see 6 different basic cuts. If you hide it, it's going to hide all of those horizontal lines. These are our score lines. So you can just click this top layer right here and it'll select all of them, and then go to your basic or your operation and change your basic cut to score. Okay, we then need to attach these. I'm going to show you what's going to happen if you don't attach your score lines. We're going to go to Make It. We're just going to say on a mat because we're using a mat. And our score lines are on their own mat. I mean, they're just going to score a piece of paper and they're not even in the right places. And so right here, it's not going to get scored when we cut it. So let's cancel. And now we're going to click on our score lines and hold down Shift so that you can select more than one layer at a time. And while holding down Shift, select your base card layer. And now we're going to click Attach. And everything is still there. This just kind of brought it in front of everything. So we'll just drag it back down so you can see everything. So now when we go to Make It, you see that your score lines are on top of the card in the places they need to be. So now your Cricut's going to know exactly where to score and cut. So it looks good and it's ready to go. Right. But we need to do this for the other card piece as well. This does have a score line going through the middle. Here's that line right there. You can just hide it just to, if you're not sure if it's the right one. And now we're going to change this to score. And again, we're going to attach it to our card layer. Just hold down Shift and then Attach. And it just brings it to the top again, so we can just drag this back to the bottom if you want to see everything. So now this card is ready to cut, but I do want to make one other change because I am making this for my stepson who graduates this year and their colors are gold and green. So I want to make the hat green since he's going to be wearing a green hat. And if you want to change any of these colors, just click on the layer that you want to change and just go up here in your color fill and you can change it. Alright, so now this looks good to me, but I want to go ahead and show you guys how you can edit this so that you can use it for class of 2023 and so on. Alright, it's going to help if you zoom in, but first we do need to get rid of these score lines. We're going to, where's our, right here, we're going to unattach these or detach them. And now we're just going to hide the score lines. This is going to make it easier to work with, and we don't want to mess with the score lines while we're doing anything. Okay. So it's going to really help if you zoom in for this. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go to your shapes and select the square, and then click this little lock button so you can turn off the lock proportions. And again, the more you zoom in, the easier and more accurate you're going to be able to get this. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. And you're going to want to line this up right here with this top line. And you're also going to want to line it up right here with this side of the 2 and this side of the 2 and this bottom line. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2 out of here. So just alright, so just get it the best you can. I think I want a little more. Okay, once it looks good, you're going to select your rectangle and also select your card layer. I just moved it when I did that. I want to go back to where I was, but we've got both of those selected, and we're just going to slice. And once you get your slice results, you'll see you can pull them all out. You know, I'm not really happy with that. I went too high up. It's not very straight. I'm actually going to undo. You can just hit undo. And I just undid that slice. I'm going to move this down one. Try to line it up a little bit more. You know, it may not be perfect. You know, just get it the best you can. Again, the more you can zoom in, the easier this is going to be. Where is that? Okay. Now let's select both of these again. We're going to slice them. And now we'll remove our slice results. Oh, I love that much more. It looks much cleaner. Okay, we'll need to drag this 2 up because it's behind the card. We'll remove that. So we don't need any of these pieces right here. We can just select them all and we can just delete them. So we've taken that 2 out of there. And if you want to take multiple numbers out of there, or even the full class of 2022 and make it say something different, you would just take your rectangle and cover all of that and delete it. And then we'll add our new text. We're going to go to our text block. I probably need to zoom out to see where that opened up. There we go. And I'll change this to say 2023, so I'm going to add a 3, and we're going to change our text, or the font. I'm going to leave a link in the description to the font I'm using. It is this freshman font, and it is free to download for personal use. So if you want to use the same font, you can get it there. All right, once we have that, we're going to drag this up. Go ahead and unlock your proportions, and you're going to just resize this to fit right here. You want to leave a space between the 2 and the 3, and you also want to leave a space between the end of the card and the 3, but you do want it to slightly overlap so that when we weld it together, there's no spaces. So once you think it looks good and it blends, let's go ahead and change this to the card layer color. Otherwise, it's going to change it all to this color when we weld it. And we're going to select both our 3 and the card, and we're going to weld it. Alright, so we're going to go back, and I'm going to show you how that looks. And again, it always brings the layer that you just made edits to the top, so we can drag this back down so you can see everything underneath it. Oh. And so now we have our class of 2023. And if you just made those edits and you're about to cut it, do not forget to add your score lines back. All you need to do is select them and select your base layer and attach them together. I am actually going to make the 2022 card. So I'm going to go back before I click Make It and do that, but I'm going to just show you what to do from here. We're going to just click on Make It. And although we're doing a card, we are not using the pre-folded card, so we're just going to use our regular standard mat. And we're going to continue. The paper that I have is actually letter size, so I can change this here. And for the paper, I recommend using a lightweight cardstock. If you use, or kind of like a light medium weight, if you use heavy, it's just not going to fold right. It's not going to do right. I would go with like the 65 weight. Again, will leave links in the description to everything I used so that you can see. But if it's not folding great, you might be using something too heavy. Okay, so from here, as long as you see all your score lines where they should be and everything looks good, for this, since the score line is black, you won't see it, but we do see that it says score here. So it's pretty safe to say the score line is there. From here, we can continue and connect our machine, and we're going to go ahead and cut everything. Next, you're going to want to prepare your cutting mat. I'm using my green cutting mat here because it's older, so it's not as sticky. But if you have new mats, you're probably going to want to use your blue light grip cutting mat instead. Make sure that you go ahead and insert your scoring stylus or your scoring wheel if you're using these, and then follow the prompts to cut out all of your pieces. If you are using the scoring stylus, your Cricut is first going to score your design and then it's going to cut it. And if you don't have one of these scoring stylus, this is one of those tools that's really inexpensive, but it's really great to have on hand. It comes in handy. I use it a lot with making cards, boxes, gift card holders, and so many other paper crafts as well. When you do remove your paper from the mat, it helps to place the mat face down and then roll the mat off your paper. This is going to help to prevent any rips or any curling of your designs. The paper just really pops off easily this way. And then you can just use your scraper to easily scrape away the cardstock pieces that are left on your mat. To begin assembling your card, you're going to start with folding your main card piece on the score line, and then you're going to take the inside pop-up design and you're going to fold on all of the score lines. Make sure to give them all a really good fold. And then before gluing your pop-up design into the card, it can be helpful to first line it up and then open and close the card with the pop-up design in there. This is really going to help to define the folds so you know exactly where to glue the card. When you feel like you have a good spot on where it's going to be, you can go ahead and add the glue to the back of your design. You're going to glue the whole back, except you're going to leave out the area that says Class of 2022, the graduation hat, and then that folded part right above Class of 22. Everywhere else it's going to need glue. And make sure you get those little side pieces glued down really well. And once you have everything glued down, continue to fold your card. This is going to just make sure everything's in the right place and that it folds really well. And the tip of your graduation cap is going to fold, so just let this fold where it naturally wants to fold. It's okay if the top part of the cap is kind of folded down because you're going to be adding another layer on top. And then once your card is in place, go ahead and glue the tassel to your graduation hat and then glue the graduation hat to the inside of your card. And to finish off the graduation hat, there is an outline for your hat that you'll want to go ahead and glue on top. And all that's left is to glue your front piece, the Congrats graduate design, to the front of your card and then the tassel on top. And then just like that, your card is ready to go. So I'm really loving how this card turned out. Let me know what you guys think of these pop-up cards, and let me know if there's any other pop-up card designs that you would like to see a tutorial for, and just leave that in the comments below. And if you have any questions, leave those in the comments as well and I'll answer them there. And if you like this video, I would love for you to give it a like and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any upcoming tutorials. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.